What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to run through some recent news for XRP, HBAR, and Casper. So first up, today we had this news from Grayscale. Grayscale Investments launches a Grayscale XRP Trust. So this is a closed-ended fund. Offering more than 20 crypto investment products, today announced the creation and public launch of the Grayscale XRP Trust, or the Trust. We have a couple quotes from Grayscale's head of product and research saying, "We believe Grayscale XRP Trust gives investors exposure to a protocol with an important real-world use case. By facilitating cross-border payments that take just seconds to complete, XRP has the potential to transform the legacy financial infrastructure." So this trust is now open for daily subscription by eligible individual and institutional accredited investors. The trust functions like Grayscale's other single-asset investment trusts and is solely invested in the token underpinning the XRP ledger XRP. So I saw Brad Garlinghouse sharing this GIF as he was retweeting the news of Grayscale, so great to see. So I believe this is similar to the other Grayscale investment products where this is a closed-ended fund. Instead of shares being redeemable like open-ended funds, they're marketable, so they can be traded on the secondary market. So think of these shares being able to be traded on exchanges or over the counter. Next up, I saw this news shared today by Casper Network. We can see introducing Trace Tech by HEMAV or HEMAV, a cost-effective, easily integrated solution to meet zero deforestation and traceability requirements. I'll just call it HEMAV, is integrated with the Casper blockchain, offering tamper-proof data storage, ensuring certification data is secure, immutable, and verifiable. Buyers gain confidence in the authenticity of certifications with HEMAV and Casper. Trace Tech provides a groundbreaking solution to ensure sustainable and transparent agricultural practices. So it looks like this HEMAV's group and their Trace Tech solution originally started with coffee. We can see where we started. Colombian coffee producers must comply with the new EU and US regulations starting this year, demanding zero deforestation and traceability certifications. Producers need a cost-effective, easily integrated solution to meet these stringent requirements. So we can see Trace Tech is integrating Casper Network, offering tamper-proof data storage and all the things we just read through, for real-time data and smart contracts utilizing a progressive web application PWA and a robust backend to manage traceability both online and offline. So transparency and auditability with detailed metadata and visual NFT representations, Trace Tech ensures complete auditability from seed to final product delivery. So we can see beginning their pilot project in Colombia, engaging 400 local producers managing 500 hectares. So initially this is focused on coffee due to the European certification standards. I'd be curious if they're going to be expanding to other products because their big focus is on meeting zero deforestation and traceability requirements. So if you're interested in learning more, you can visit HEMAV.com. We can look a little bit at their forecasting models. We can see satellite technology, drone technology, soil technology, etc. So definitely interesting. We can see right here, this is some of their sat tech or satellite technology, so we'll have to look more into this. We also got some news today from the HBAR Foundation announcing the AUDD. This is the Australian digital dollar launching on Hedera. So this Australian digital dollar, or AUDD, is going to be launching as a Hedera token service, or HTS token, right on Hedera. Right here we have explaining the benefits of the integration with the Australian digital dollar on Hedera's hashgraph. We have from the CEO of AUDC highlighted the strategic importance of this partnership, launching the Australian digital dollar on the Hedera network, being a transformative step in our journey to revolutionize digital payments. Extending the Australian digital dollar's utility, offering real-time, low-cost transactions that meet the demands of modern financial systems. This partnership is expected to drive significant adoption of the Australian digital dollar both within Australia and globally in industries such as international remittances, escrow services, and real-time payment settlements. And one last quote here from Sabrina, who is head of fintech and payments over at the HBAR Foundation. She says, "The launch of a Hedera native Australian digital dollar stablecoin will support the growth of Hedera's growing payment ecosystem, from facilitating cross-border payments to global client onboarding onto digital asset marketplaces on the network." So great to see. Australia is big. We can see right here being a major exporter of agricultural and industrial commodities, as well as home to a sizable domestic payments market. And what's important to note is right here, a Hedera native Australian digital dollar has a strategic role to play in the Asian Pacific region and beyond. And I like this tweet by Crypto Eddie. We've discussed things like this before related to Ethereum and just considering the gas fees for stablecoin transactions for USDC and Tether. So I know the gas fees for ETH are more expensive. There are plenty of other layer 1 networks or scaling solutions that are a lot cheaper. But overall, just transactions can drive demand, so that's good, and we want to see high volumes. So I know the burn rate for XRP is primarily to prevent spam, but overall we still want to see transactions, and that still does burn a small amount of XRP. Like she says right here, we want to bring on as much of that stablecoin gas transaction activity on the XRP ledger mainnet as possible. Trillions, please. Every currency would be nice. And also touching on the SEC docs explaining that on-demand liquidity, or what was ODL, is price neutral. Galgatron has some really good blogs going over ODL. I know those blogs are older, but Galgatron is a really good writer. He takes complex topics, breaks them down with simple analogies, and he's helped me understand a bunch. I also saw right here that senior software engineer over at RippleX has published 2 new XRP Ledger specs focused around permissioning and compliance, or right here, permission dexes. So you can check this out in the GitHub if you're curious. This is XLS81D. So we know this grayscale XRP trust is a great thing for XRP, and we also know that Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse said he believes we could see an XRP spot ETF in 2025. So I'd absolutely love to see something happen over the next 12 months. XRP has legal clarity. It is not a security, so there's nothing holding it back, and we want to see more trust, more ETFs, more ETPs, etc. Chaired by Rath Economan, the New York State Bar understood Torres' ruling as meaning XRP is not inherently a security as a victory for the company Ripple. In a cognizable path forward, they do mention concern that the SEC seems to have abandoned security designation as a fact-specific test. And just like Stuart Alderati says here, who is the chief legal officer over at Ripple, citing these documents, the term crypto asset security is nowhere to be found in any statute. It's a fabricated term with no legal basis. So the SEC is still using the same terms, crypto asset security, trying to regulate an asset class with laws from 70 to 80 years ago, before the internet even existed, and we have other jurisdictions being a lot more progressive and coming up with new regulatory frameworks, the UK, Japan, and many other countries. No major changes for the XRP price chart on the weekly time frame. These are the same horizontal rays that I shared a couple months back. We can see why I'm at these levels. We have the weekly candle body finding support. I know we had a deep wick down there, but we can see just above the 50-week moving average, which is at 55.7 cents. We are just above at 56 cents. So just looking on the weekly and monthly time frame, we can see the weekly RSI is over 50 again, which is good, and we are just waiting for any price action. If you've gone deep into XRP, there is so much at play, there are so many connections that it doesn't even seem like a conspiracy anymore, especially considering the lawsuit, the timing of it with Jay Clayton. There's so much corruption, there are so many vested interests at play, it really makes you wonder. So same looks on my end, I'm waiting for another cycle for Bitcoin dominance to crash and or Bitcoin to actually draw its first major move and for XRP to actually create new all-time highs. And I've shared the fractals I'm looking at along with the fib retracements and extensions, but in the meantime, these are the levels we have to break through, so these will just be one level at a time for support and resistance. We still have the open weekly fair value gap that I shared years ago around $1.10, and then an open liquidity gap at $1.59. Just looking at the XRP monthly price chart, we can see that XRP is just below the 50-month moving average, and looking at RSI, we can see we've backtested the 50 line or the middle line. So we need to hold this level to really have that chance to be bullish, because historically, when we get these big runs past the 50 line into overbought or 70, that's when we run. So at least during the last 2 cycles, we rocketed right there, and then even here we had a retracement during a lawsuit with exchanges delisting XRP, all types of bad news, and we still retraced. So just looking on the weekly and monthly time frame for that shot to see the monthly RSI truly run, as XRP is not a security. And not financial advice, but the way I see it is if Bitcoin draws its first major move in all-time highs, I see XRP going into all-time highs. If we don't, and Bitcoin is actually forming a triple top where we enter redistribution, then I'll entertain those gaps between 20 to 30 cents. So virtually for every single asset out there, I'm just awaiting for either one of these 2 things. Bitcoin to draw its first major move, that first large monthly candle into new all-time highs, or for Bitcoin dominance to crash like we've seen during the previous 2 cycles. We can see that Bitcoin dominance is still climbing. So at least historically, during the previous 2 alt seasons, Bitcoin runs with major moves in all-time highs first. After those first waves, or at least that first initial wave, alts begin to play catch-up, and we see a crash of Bitcoin dominance, and then alts go parabolic. So that's what I'm looking for on the weekly and monthly time frame, and altcoins can still retrace from here, but what I'm most interested in is seeing where the alts are, at least on their price chart, when we see Bitcoin dominance actually begin its crash. We have the algo weekly price chart, so no big changes. We still never actually filled this gap above. We did fill the lower gap, and for a variety of assets, even HBAR, we want to reclaim in the future over this 50-week moving average. I made a video this month showing a list of 49 different altcoins that have created new cycle lows. So I understand the argument for Bitcoin to potentially be in redistribution going back to cycle lows at 20K. I just believe we get another liquidity cycle, as I've shared my thoughts before on the Bitcoin monthly time frame, and then looking at Bitcoin dominance. These setups are similar. I think sentiment is already low enough and interest is extremely low, so for me personally, I believe we get another cycle. Considering other things like regulation, infrastructure, custody, the Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs are a really big deal as well. So per usual guys, this is never financial advice or telling anybody what the right thing to do is for them because everybody has a different situation, but I'm waiting for another bull run. Just looking at assets even like Zcash, we can see big crash, we have a bull run, then we have a well over a 90% crash, another bear market, followed by another bull run or another cycle, and then followed by another massive crash. So my thoughts are just seeing the usual waves each cycle that we are in another setup for another bull run. And at least thinking from the perspective of these large whales, institutions, running bots, what have we at least seen each cycle? We have seen periods of expansion. During periods of expansion, retail investors are excited. We are just throwing our money in for higher prices. Eventually, after a bunch of liquidities in the system, they can crash and redistribute and take profit on our liquidity all over again. So not financial advice, but I believe from their perspective, it's in their best interest to pump prices up again, have another cycle, get new liquidity and new investors into this market before dumping on them again. And if and when we do get another liquidity cycle, Bitcoin runs, Bitcoin dominance crashes, say Bitcoin goes to 150K or even 250K near the 4.236, this would be the biggest bull run ever in terms of capital inflow. And only then in hindsight would it make sense why sentiment is so low today, why the market is so illiquid, to get that sentiment as low as possible before another cycle. So I know we went over this last video looking at the total crypto market cap or the market cap of the entire crypto asset class on the weekly time frame, and last cycle from the high to the cycle low, we did reach a perfect 4.236 Fibonacci extension, as you can see right there. So I'll remove this again, and if history repeats and we actually get that first major move for Bitcoin, then I'm very confident that the total crypto market cap is going to be reaching this purple box. But I need to see actual confirmation with the Bitcoin price chart drawing its first major move on the monthly time frame, taking out the previous cycle top. Alright, we'll finish up with a few things for Casper. So just looking at the contracts on CSPR.live, we can see the Prove AI, Grayscale AI, other contract is still pumping out transactions. So you can click this, we can see 46 seconds ago. I need to scroll through the official Casper Telegram to see if they've put any more news or information about the upcoming Condor release or Casper 2.0. My buddy King Wolf shared this a while back, so just related to IBM, they have an actual quantum chip that's also named Condor. This could just be a big coincidence, but I did think that was interesting. I guess my only other question related to Prove AI for Casper Network is, per this IBM press release that came out in January, is basically saying that Prove AI will be integrated with Watson X, which is IBM's data and AI platform. I don't know if it's already integrated with it or if they're integrating in the future, so please let me know. I'm trying to find out. Because we can see right here, leveraging IBM's Watson X governance and Watson X AI. I know that Casper Labs is part of the Hyperledger Foundation. They also are part of IBM's Global Partner Program, and then they also just presented at the IBM Think Conference. So hopefully there are customers looking at Prove AI. I know there was interest. I just want to see more companies roll out. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button and sharing your thoughts down below. As always, you can find all links, including resources for charting, trading bots, platforms, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts in my link tree at the top of the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.